Today I will be sharing some information by Prince Ea addressing an issue that I have been trying to find a way to present to you for some time. The issue is the difference between the Galactic Federation of Worlds and the Galactic Federation of Light, which has been more ingrained into society. When I started on this journey towards extraterrestrial clarity, it was all very organic. I didn't plan any of it. It came to me in many ways with various people, and I followed the lead. Consequently, I have been exposed to both the Galactic Federation of Light and the Galactic Federation of Worlds, but it didn't really occur to me that they were two diametrically opposed agendas. I first went to the Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles. This was a huge convention venue spread out in numerous speaker rooms over 3 floors. There was also a huge commercial area with hundreds of vendors. While we really enjoyed it, and this is where I did the spoon bending, it was almost like the mob of extraterrestrial enthusiasts in the movie Contact. There were people in costumes and about every gimmick that you ever want to see in the shopping area. One speaker admitted that he regularly speaks to gray aliens, which raised a red flag for me, but as you will learn, there are some benevolent grays, but they are not permitted to interact with us. So I have to wonder who this speaker is speaking to. I'm not saying that these crystal and pyramid gadgets didn't work, but that is where I saw my first medbed scam, which was a large pod in the aisle to draw you in, and then the salesperson tries to force you into buying a ridiculously overpriced red light cosmetic facial wand. I would not and will not allow such tactics in vendors at the X-Pharmacon, which will be more an introspective and interactive healing experience. As always, there will be additional video links to further discussions of concepts in this video, listed in the description below the video. Another thing that I noticed was there were some really famous people like George Noory, Bashar, Linda Moulton Howe, Sasha Stone, and David Wolfe. However, in researching for this video, I learned that those speakers pay to speak there, whether through a vendor site or advertising fees. So anyone can speak there, and many of the speakers are good. It was an enjoyable few days, but anything but calming. It was very hectic and highly commercialized. Then in September, we went to the Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection, or GSIC. This was a much smaller event in every way, but I realized that big is not always better. The number of attendees, speakers, and vendors was significantly less. I had already been introduced to Elena Danan through Dan Willis, who has done a thorough vetting of her. Since then, Dan has become even more involved in interactions with Jen Han, which he sometimes shares with me. So my point being is that somehow I effortlessly aligned with people connected to the Galactic Federation of Worlds. But if there had been any question in my mind at all, it was dispelled during the GSIC event where an extraterrestrial display was promised and delivered. Even my highly skeptical husband was convinced. This is how I landed on the side of the Galactic Federation of Worlds, but I was well aware of the alternate Galactic Federation of Light. I wanted to make this distinction to give you a little foundation because it appears that the Galactic Federation of Worlds wants you to know this. Before we get into this galactic message, please allow me to ask you to help promote the channel. Whether it is a thumbs up, sharing the video, subscribing, monthly memberships, one-time super thanks tips, or shopping in my store, it all helps in growing the channel and getting the word out to more people as the planet transitions through the shift to the Golden Age. Now I'm going to share a message from Prince Ea, heir to the Ankh Empire that was received through Elena Danan, emissary to the Galactic Federation of Worlds. The message has been refined to remove repetition, and I encourage you to go to Elena's YouTube channel for the complete video, which will be linked in the description. Here is the message that Elena Danon received in part. I will also advise you that when Ea is referencing the planet Kai, he is speaking of Earth, and the entire communication is also listed on Elena's webpage, which I will also link.
I have crossed eons of time and learned about illusion. There are constants in creation that are tangible manifestations of the source creator. There are also intellectual concepts that are made up by the minds of created beings. Any created being has the capacity to manifest a seemingly tangible realization from their mind. But in truth, it has no real consistency or substance. Created beings most often seek a path for their personal evolution, healing or learning through the illusion generated by their own mind. It came to my attention that a mind-created concept named by its inventors, the Galactic Federation of Light, resurges from years of careful programming. This mind-created concept is a weaponized concept that wasn't generated by any genuine mind-seeking evolution, healing, or learning. A weaponized concept is a matrix of illusions configured into geometric patterns that hack individual minds as part of a global operation to control the masses' minds. The Galactic Federation of Light weaponized concept was invented by a powerful hive mind whose sole purpose was to hijack the minds of the people of Ki, numb them to a comfortable illusion, and then divert them from the reality of their power, their world, and the universe, in order to assimilate them into their hive-minded society. The people of Ki were lured into believing that the Galactic Federation of Light was a real spiritual organization. The Nebu hive mind coerced the minds of many people in the targeted community of humans who were awakening and would guide the rest of humanity. They rerouted their spiritual awakening towards an illusion that was a mind trap so that they would stray from the path. The Galactic Federation of Light is not real. It doesn't exist. Those who believe so are under a mind-control programming installed by the former alliance of the Six Empires. Nebu, Exrog, Kilitokurit, Maitre, Chakar, Solipsirai, which held your planet in hostage. Humans of Kai, the time for arguing about the existence of the illusion is over because the illusion no longer exists. The alliance of the Six has fallen while the Galactic Alliance of Nataru has grown in power and influence. You may be familiar with the concept of Jedi, spiritual warriors who fight with technology, diplomacy, intelligence, and spiritual guidance. This is what the Galactic Federation of Worlds is and is about. The Galactic Federation of Worlds is real. Beware of how the word light is often used to lure innocent butterflies seeking their way in the night. The Nebu Empire has fallen. The alliance of the Six has dissolved. Whether or not you argue about this topic will not change the outcome because you have already won this war, people of Ki. Stop feeding the programs installed in your planet's collective consciousness and they will die. They will fade away. The regressive grey cultures have disappeared. There is nothing to worry about anymore. Don't dwell on the past, evolve and move forward. Stop talking about them. The greys, as you call them, are a memory of the past. There are countless diverse grey genetic cultures in the global creation, and not all of them intend to conquer. However, the Galactic Federation of Worlds, which looks after peace and balance, has forbidden the positive grey cultures from interacting with your planet in order to avoid causing confusion. The tall Tau Ceti Emether are the only exception. The Galactic Federation of Worlds knew that the Nebu were planting illusions in the minds of all abductees, convincing them that positive grey cultures were harvesting their consent to assimilate them. Free will is essential to circumvent the Prime Directive, which is based on the cosmic laws of creation and evolution. Abduction violates both the Prime Directive and the law of free will. No benevolent, highly evolved culture abducts people and performs genetic procedures without their consent. People of Ki, you have been victims of manipulation for decades with the collaboration of your governments. You have been dealing with a higher form of intelligence that is hundreds of thousands of years ahead of you technologically and operates as a hive mind, thinking collectively and computing faster than you could ever comprehend. In a hive society, all minds have an individual primary survival brain that is naturally connected to a collective consciousness, which is one with the central module, or as you call it, the Queen. These units cannot ascend to a higher consciousness because doing so would mean separating from the hive. If they do so, they die. It is indeed time for you, humans of Ki, to leave the illusions behind and step out of the programming of the fallen empires that left you to fight each other in the post-war chaos they wanted. You have been hypnotized. You have been given trigger words that control your mind, and only the frequency of your attunement to your heart can dissolve them. By supporting the illusion, you spread confusion and postpone the realization of the beautiful golden future you so dearly desire. By bravely admitting that you have been played and by defending the truth, you inspire and empower others. Walk away from what confuses your mind. Step out of the illusion, step into the love. The greys are history. Now, humans of Kai, it is time for you to step into the present and build the future. Advance as a civilization towards a united planetary culture that will reach out to the stars and join the greater galactic community, your family, the Galactic Federation of Worlds, and the United Alliance of Nataru. I will be there representing the empire of my father, and I am waiting eagerly to embrace you with my love. But first you must take the first step.
That is the message from EA, so please don't shoot the messenger, guys. Again. Note that Aya is not speaking of any one person, but the hive mind of the Galactic Federation of Light concept. You must do your own research and analysis and go within to find the answers. I must warn you that the Dark Ones are very convincing and you can expect them to do anything to control you. I have also heard that people like Chuck Schumer have been approaching influencers to become involved in extraterrestrial disclosure. If you believe anything from Chuck Schumer or any of these other people that have been working to destroy our world behind the scenes, then you are going to have a very difficult time and much fear and sadness. There is no need to fear ET disclosure. As Ia and many others have told us, the Nebu Greys are gone and cannot hurt us. So let's not argue over the Federation of Light versus the Federation of Worlds if this video conflicts with your beliefs. Let's do as Ia said, which is to step out of the illusion and into love, which is the only thing that will give us clarity. Until next time, let me leave you with this quote by Carl Jung. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it your fate.